readings. If you're new here, I'm MJ. I'm the founder of Alta Love. It's an online lifestyle brand dedicated to sustainability, spirituality, and freedom for all. There's some online courses. My cat has been asking me for food, and sometimes he jumps up and scratches me. But no, he's happy. Okay. There's some online courses. I published a book a few years ago, which is really my own intuitively guided book about shadow work. I didn't really connect the two until after I published the book, but hey ho. And I didn't have the awareness of that language. That's what I mean, is that I wasn't like a Jungian. I wasn't read in those rays. And then really what I'm describing is a shadow work process, which can take some time. I am a coffee drinker as well. Anyway, not to keep you waiting. So Aries, let's get into your June 2024 tarot readings. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, so the way I'm using the cards, laying the cards, interpreting the cards is all intuitive. If that's not for you, then obviously I'm sure you'll find the people that are for you. So let's dive in here for Aries, June 2024, divine guidance and loving clarity for my Aries lovers, divine guidance and loving clarity. Yeah, there is an energy of moving forward here. I mean, there's a pretty clear message here of moving forward and turning your back on past pain, past deception, past self-denial, possibly around a Queen of Cups reverse, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. She's in the reverse. I feel like this could be a sister, a mother, a brother, right? Depending on you always feel free to kind of play around with the genders, especially with the general readings. But I'll let you know what it is, depending on the resonation. And again, if I didn't say it already with these generals, and even when I do private readings, I always say to people, the cards don't have power over you. Take what resonates and leave the rest, and fundamentally these are tools to direct us within. So the true truth is always going to be kind of excavated and or residing within us, right? Hence resonation. A resonance feeling is that intuitive connection, which is higher self, our connection to spirit, our connection to the beyond the veil kind of thing. Okie dokie. So the Queen of Swords is in the upright. Now she's moving forward. I'm interpreting this as your prime energy in this regard, because also the central energy is Hanged Man reverse. So it's like coming out of a phase of stagnation. But I could also say this is a phase, this Hanged Man energy, when you were in it, which is more like the past, would have been like a lot of grief and processing pain, processing losses maybe, or just I mean, I'm getting Seven of Swords is like the betrayal, people that lie to us, people that steal from us, the pain that causes, and it's like turning your back. I have to move forward now. But I would say with the Hangman reverse, it's like this isn't for nothing. Like, you have received some illumination. You have been illuminated by moving through these energies, right? For some of you, it's connected to home. Yeah. Home, childhood, and or the loss of that, the loss of a parent, the loss of the loss of that happy life, that happy family life. Early childhood experiences. What is that? Queen of Swords is moving forward. Let's get more clarity about this movement forward here for the Queen of Cups. I feel like some of you are like done working on something connected to Queen of Cups reverse. Again, I'm getting is like a maybe a colleague for some of you, but a mother, a sister, and or people in your life that would have appeared based in your early childhood upbringing, if that makes sense to you, right? So like these people that you keep looping back, why am I doing this? Because it's connected to the early childhood experiences that that were disappointing, that made you feel like you couldn't do what you wanted, that made you feel like you weren't enough, whatever. Because the reversal here, I feel like it's this Queen of Cups connected to this reversal and this Eight of Cups. It's like you're not working on that anymore, and or it's like I can't go there. I can't. I gotta move on. Basically, something about that. I gotta move on from the past. I gotta move on from. That's the clarity, and or that's the illumination coming through, allowing you to perceive more clearly, Aries. And I'm hearing overcoming the shadow, possibly like overcoming the shadow of that Queen of Cups. Maybe it's a friend who you lived in the shadow of, or more than likely like mother, sister, aunt, grandma, maybe like just the matriarchal lineage with the Queen of Cups reverse. You know, the lineage that we are born into can often be a huge part of the karma we're here to heal. I'm hearing about, like, if you're in doubt, just trust, because there will be messages coming through for you. And support, financial support. There's definitely new beginnings afoot as well. I've seen 2 aces just in the shuffle there. So there is an energy here that has your back, basically. Let's pull some more energy. There's an energy here that's got your back for sure. And that, I've seen that Nine of Pentacles a few times too. So I think there's something connected to early childhood, or certainly a significant cup, Queen or King of Cups, right? But I want to say a significant female in your life. There's some Venetian energy transiting over that Uranus and Jupiter conjunction. So this is often going to be indicating feminine energy, mother, sister, lover on the feminines, right? But of course you can do what you like with the gender, but this is a strong female mother energy kind of vibratory. In as far as you getting the support that you feel you need to move forward. Leaving the past behind, leaving the old betrayal and heartache and disappointment. I mean, you've got 5 of Cups and a 7 of Swords. This is like lying, cheating, stealing, and feeling really, really, really left out or just forlorn. This is sorrow card. It's the grief card, is the 5 of Cups, you know, like we're in the deep, heavy energies of loss. You're not. This is, you have spent some time here. This is your past in this reading. You have spent some time here, and you're like, I've learned my lesson. I can see clearly. I mean, yeah, this is like big time doing the emotional processing work, moving forward with greater clarity, possibly around a Queen of Cups, which could have been a mother or sister, somebody you grew up with that was with you and or around you growing up. And it's like, it's almost like some shift of, instead of working sort of tirelessly on this sort of family project, you're suddenly going, I actually just need to focus on myself right now. But there's this North Node in Aries, right, with Chiron in Aries. So it's, to me, there's just no shadow of a doubt that the collective is coming to dead ends everywhere. Like, so more and more people are having more and more awakenings, and then the path we were once on as a collective is no longer the path. So it's a real freedom break with regards to coming to greater justice and illumination, breaking free from corruption and codependency. And I want to get a bit of clarity here on the Empress reverse. There's something, I almost want to say there's something about receiving either like financial justice or like having enough strength. I'm hearing strength to go to the bank or strength to approach somebody about money. maybe like you're at a certain level with your pentacle, but you're wanting to upgrade your level. There could be a Libra person in your midst that you're wanting to ask some money to. This is somebody who really believes you and sees you as a like a fruitful or abundant person, or certainly with the Strength card there, they see you as a spiritually connected person. But and again, if you've been through or been going through a lot of stuff, maybe even there's something here about like you might have lost a job with the Eight of Pentacle reverse, and somehow it's a sabotaging energy connected to the mother or the home life, right? Early childhood, rather. Because again, with these generals especially, this could definitely be the mother or father. This is just early childhood and the experiences from that sort of time of our life that really shapes us. Okay, so this is something about you've maybe grounding the energies of the losses, of the heartache. The sun reverse. I mean, there's interesting here, Aries. There is a lot of fantastic energy. Lots of fantastic energy. But it's almost feeling like you're surrounded by some difficult energy as well. And I mean, we've still got the good old Uranian planet, Uranus, shaking things up for us, and likely to be, if not now, like as you're getting these in June, these last couple weeks of May might have really shaken things up, tested your faith, tested your strength. I think by you trusting in the truth, or like trusting in the truth and justice, continuing to do the inner work with the faith that you'll be moving forward, I think you're going to overcome something. But it's like, yeah, no, as in, but it's well earned as well. It's not some necessarily like out of nowhere, I've won the lottery. Some of you might be being proposed to, the ring card. Somebody might be proposing to you, or maybe you're going through some sort of spiritual awakening, Aries, where you're proposing to yourself, or like conducting a marriage ceremony just for yourself. Final messages for my Aries collective. Final messages. There's also 5 and the Shine card, Leo card. Some of you, I think there is that moving forward. You might have to be willing to move forward, put yourself out there. It's interesting, really. Yeah, nostalgia and the meanie card. I think some of you are facing down, like, because the Queen of Cups reversed to me could be an energy of the meanie, the mean girl, and maybe some of you are looking at those threads from early childhood, a friend that was really mean to you, a sibling, a mother, an auntie, right? Or again, anyone for that matter in the general reading, anyone that was mean to you. I would say that made you feel like you just weren't worth anything, because the nostalgia is that you are actually in this energy of reflection. You're all up in this energy of reflection. Meanwhile, at the same time, the reflection is offering you some sort of illumination, like a spiritual clarity, and also a recommitment to your faith. And maybe just straight up a recommitment to yourself. And then like a pocket of you, if you're in a relationship, this is like proposal vibe. You may be seeing something finally clearly enough to go, yeah, I do deserve to get married, to shine, to whatever it is that you're hoping and wishing for. It's almost like you really have to really be willing to own that. Like own what you want, what you desire, right? Because it's like you have, whether in the physical or in the spiritual, you have all of the support. Like there's so much loving support around you, and potentially financial support. You have to be willing to open up to it and let it in, I guess. Let it in. Let your and that justice card, like the Libra, the balanced energy, there's some sort of truth likely to be coming through your life. There's a resonance here, right? Like you moving things forward from this place of the sort of truth. Yes, I've been through lots. Yes, I've attracted lots of shazam. Yes, I've lost a lot. Whatever it might be. Yes, yes. And what? You want me to feel bad about it? You want me to feel poop? You want me to get hard? You want me to harden my heart because childhood was difficult? Or do you want me to harden my heart because one of my friends betrayed me? Or do I, like, and you're having this illumination to be reborn. You've already, yeah, honestly, you've already let loads go. You've already probably laid swords down, had loads of healing. This card was coming through too, but I'm going to shuffle this deck. So final message for my Aries. Final message for any of my Aries lovers who be coming around for these monthly videos and the dailies, obviously. Just keep doing the work as far as healing the energy, healing your heart, coming into coherence, right? Coming into greater grounding, less intensities, less survival mode, right? Maybe stuff went down where you really had to like get real, or you really had to get humble before like thinking you're like some empress mode. We all have those battles, I think, with regards to our egoic projection, our desire, our delusions, right? Like this is part of, pathological disorders and such is really about how we're brought up, how we're programmed to think and perceive and relate to ourselves in this world. And again, from that broader perspective, this is part of this whole manifestation to me, but also the gateway into divine healing for the collective is that we are the creators, but harmonizing the mind, or even the brain and the heart, to support harmonizing the rest of the body in an appropriate environment with the appropriate sustenance and all of that kind of stuff. This is where, we're all being led into these alchemical and or shadow work phases of our lives, and also being called to greater connection with the planet herself, and thus communities who are connected on a certain level. And also for all of us, just like there was a time where we were a little bit more tribalized, for us to tune into our authentic truth so that we can be that, so that we can attract the people who be vibrating with the vibratories, right? Who we know on a soul level, so that we can understand one another, work together better. If we don't know ourselves, it's going to be really hard to navigate finding the people that know us and we know them. And as far as a deeper kind of soul code of recognition and knowing, thus it just means that those organizational platforms will be in a greater harmonic when we all resonate together. For now, though, a North Node being in Aries, and certainly this reading, I'm still feeling into this for most of us as a fairly solo endeavor. As in, yes, we can have sessions where the shadow is being purged with people, but for the most part, shadow work is an individual. It's an inner work, right? It's a process that we're holding space for from within our own mind, heart, what do they call it? Mind body complex. We're observing this body, as it were, body of Christ, moving through a clearing out of density, or I call it the karmic backlog, aka generational trauma. Like I think pretty much since that lockdown bosh on the planet, regardless of our interpretation or narrative around that, to me was the karmic end point. It's like you're not going past this point until you deal with this, and you have a deeper understanding of your purpose here, or the work you're meant to do, or whatever it might be, right? Yeah, because I just would say from a soul's perspective, there's certain things that are inescapable. But we live in such a wonderful world that allows us to just be distracted and escape all the time. But that is part of what's shifting, is that those, some of those conveniences and luxuries are going to be removed slowly. Like, as in, we're going to be forced to have to be more creative, and more community oriented, and real. By that, I just mean honest about what we can and can't do, honest about how much money we do or don't have. And yet, I would say in the interim, though, the inner work from a solitary point of view, right? Being alone with regards to a connection to in unity with the whole. So going within to clear the karmic backlog is a permission slip of a greater, doing work for the whole, doing work in service for everybody. So more and more people having, enough to take off a year or 10 or however long. There's plenty of people that are going to be exiting the matrix, as it were. And that's been happening for years, but it's going to continue to happen. It's like I just published a video of mine from, I think it was either 2018 or 2019. I was just on a roll, like making videos, feeling guided and inspired to make these videos. And I made one about the collapsing, or rather like the end of celebrity culture, like the end of idol worship. So I've shared that on the community page. So that's like 5 years ago, and yet it was way before that I intuitively just wanted to stop watching TV and all that stuff. And then increasingly just through things I was learning at that time, which more and more people I think are seeing too from their own eyes and perspectives. It always bothered me that there was this huge class divide and that we glamorize and idolize these people that have all these big fancy things and but then there's all the suffering. I think for a lot of compassionate people, it always felt a bit ick or weird. And like, people are like, oh no, they were really caring people. And I'm like, yeah, but those of us who are really caring, I'm like, if we ever had that much money, we just wouldn't hoard it. And nor desire to live in some big, huge, fancy house that nobody lives in or that just goes empty most of the time. Like, genuinely, the majority of us who really, really care, the only purpose of actually making money, yes, okay, survival, annoying, but hey ho, that's the economy as it is right now, or the world that we've all created. But it's the fact of like the only genuine sense of creation is to do good, is to up-level suffering, is to, there's plenty of things going on in the world where you're just like, God, if you had a spare million or this, that, or that much, or this much, you could do so much good for people that have so little, but they don't. They're on holidays and they're accumulating more wealth and making their own passion projects, which I think is part of what's exhausting everybody. We're just like, nobody cares. Nobody has the time to watch your stuff no more. Everybody's working, work. Although I'm also into again, I've not engaged with the mainstream stuff for so long. So it's a kind of different thing when you don't follow any of these people and never really have. Although, to each their own. There's also value. I see value in all levels and tiers of life. I see people doing their best. And that's just part of like a waveform, is that there's going to be risings and fallings. We're seeing that we can see in a past 10, 20-year cycle of all these people rising to these exquisite levels of fame. And now there's a falling. Just like our own countries rose up, often by clambering and climbing and doing horrible things to other people to get to that place. Similar to a lot of those like celebrities, is that they're falling because there's a fall from grace because it was never achieved through grace. To me, people that have exhibited truly graceful qualities are real and honest. I think of somebody like, and I don't know, people can always find the shadow, of course, but I think of somebody like Audrey Hepburn, who seemed to deliver some exquisite performances, and then as she carried on in her life as a performer, as a star, she spoke out about humanitarian issues constantly. And to me, she grew old with grace, and maintained that grace because of the way she cared for humanity, I don't know and that even, we don't need to idolize these people. I just think that we know this, the depth of the truth of the kind of love that we want to see in the world. And so it's up to us to find that. I just know that any of us endeavoring all the shadow work, may the peace be with you, and may the light, or may the force be with you. That's really what it is, you know. Pardon me. May the force be with us all, because it's really deep work. And any of us were doing that deep shadow work, you know how kind of painful, relentless, and ugly it can be, to the point of thinking, am I going to get out of this alive? Have I made the when like you're in it and you're just like, holy shit. Although I'll tell you what, like, in a weird way, there's things that can keep hitting you and you're like, wow, holy crap, there's still so much more stuff. But then there's this other part that's just getting started. Like there's another part that's like, I'm getting the hang of this. I get this, and I'm in this process. It's just having enough strength and courage and conviction, and or the kind of depth of holding space for yourself in trust that you do get to the other side. There's still some healing taking place for you here, Aries, and yet there's this sort of bridge, or I would say like a tunnel you're walking through into the new, as you're seeing more clearly, as you're healing more, as maybe more memories or sort of, again, nostalgic things come up from the past. And for some of you, again, you're going to start to feel like, or actually be shining and be seen, where there's some sort of offering with the ring. And again, if that's those of you in established bonds or relationships, that could be a proposal. Some of you, it might be that you like do some sort of faith-oriented ceremony for yourself, where you like put a ring on your finger and marry yourself. I've done such things. So go shine, Aries. Trust in the truth within this process. Trust in the truth of your inner mind, heart, and the healing benevolence that you're receiving from the shadow work that you're doing. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through. You got a lot of positive cards. I think you're holding space for also a lot of turbulence and maybe painful things from childhood as well. There's a reading for my lovely Aries. Have a great month of June. I can't quite get over that we're like at that halfway mark. Wow. Wowzers, my lovers. Have a great month, Aries. Love you guys loads. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace out.